Filter statements or conditions. To create advanced filters, it helps to first understand filter statements or conditions in more detail, especially the parts they're made of. Each filter condition has three main parts. Number 1. The field. This is the column heading or subject you're filtering by, such as name, occupation, etc. Two. Operator. This is the comparison word in the middle, like is not, or contains. It tells the system how to compare the field to the value. And 3. The value. This is the specific information you're looking for or excluding, such as a particular name or keyword. Field types and their operators. If filter statements don't quite make sense yet, don't worry. They'll become clearer as we go through the different operators and how they depend on the type of field you're filtering. When you choose a field, you might notice small icons beside each one. These indicate the field type, which affects the filtering options available. For now, we only need to focus on 4. These are single line text, single select, multiple select, and date. Tip: we will be covering a lot of detail, so now's a good time to pause the video, grab a cup of tea, maybe a snack, and have a pen and paper handy to take some notes. Single line text and its operators. The A symbol means the field is single line text. You might notice the only field that is of this type is record ID, and the information in the cells in this field is unlike a lot of the others, as it is in simple black text with no coloured background. The options for the operators when this type of field is chosen are contains, does not contain, is not, is empty, and is not empty. The contains operator checks if a record includes the value you type. For example, typing n will highlight all records with n and update the total count. This is helpful when you only remember part of the information. Does not contain filters out any records that include the value. Type in n here will show only records without an n, and again the record count will update accordingly. Use is when you know the exact value, such as a full record ID. It will return only that exact match. If no record matches, nothing will appear. Is not is used to exclude a specific value. To exclude multiple values, click Add Condition and set each one to is not. Is empty and is not empty don't apply to this field type, but they're useful for other fields. For single line text fields, a value must always be typed in. Single select and its operators. A downward arrow inside a circle means it is a single select field. This means that a field can only have a maximum of one value per cell. The options for the operators when this type of field is chosen are is not, is any of, is none of, and is empty. A quick tip: the is and is not operators work the same across all field types. The is any of operator works the same as contains, and the is none of operator is similar to does not contain, but both of these also have the added benefit of allowing multiple values. Unlike single line text fields, many field types allow you to type values or select them from a drop-down. The isEmpty operator shows records with nothing in that field, and the isNotEmpty shows only records where the field has a value. Let's take for example the single select field, County Modern. Then we're going to select the operator isEmpty. But even before just that, if we look at the cells within the field, now if we select isEmpty, we'll see that all the cells disappear and the number of records reduces to 60. And if we change to isNotEmpty, it shows all the cells where it is not empty minus the cells that are empty. And then if we remove the condition fully, all the records reappear. Multiple select and its operators. A small list with 3 small downward arrows on the right means it is a multiple select field. The options for the operators when this type of field is chosen are has any of, has all of, is exactly, has none of, is empty, and is not empty. The has any of operator works like the is any of and contains operators, allowing multiple values to be entered. For example, selecting sen, short for senior, will return all records tagged with that value regardless of surname. The has all of operator only returns records that include all selected values, even if other values are also present within a given cell. So if you enter both sen, short for senior, and bilaf, only records containing both will appear. The isExactly operator behaves like is. The cell must match the value exactly. And the has none of operator is like is none of. It excludes all listed values. Date and its operators. Note: you might notice that within the records given there are date fields where the cells are coloured and others where they are not. Those that are coloured are multiple select fields, and those in plain black text are the true date fields. This has been done deliberately to ensure all of the available information can be entered into the database. True date fields do not allow ambiguous dates where a day, a month or a year are absent, and do not accept such terms as Hillary term or spring, which is why there is a level of duplication within the databases. A calendar symbol means the field is a date field. Note: unlike the other field types, you're given an additional operator box that breaks the filter term down even more. You don't need to know each of these additional sub-operators, as most are irrelevant, as they pertain to more contemporary times and not for historical purposes. The options for the operators when this type of field is chosen are is within, is before, is after, is on or before, is on or after. We also have the operators is not, is empty, and is not empty. The is operator is for specific dates. Keep the sub operator as exact date, then type the date as in day, month and year, or select it from the calendar. Typing is usually faster. The is within operator is not useful here as it only works with contemporary records. The is before operator shows records dated before the entered date. The is after operator shows records dated after the entered date. The is on or before and is on or after are pretty self-explanatory. For a useful tip, to better organise your filter, use group by on the same date field. For is before or on or before, sort latest to earliest, and for is after or is on or after, sort earliest to latest. This arranges dates logically. We also have the operators is not, is empty, and is not empty. The is not operator is for when we want to exclude particular dates. If I want to remove all records where someone qualifies on the 27th of July 1793, I type it in and press enter, and then the records disappear. If I change the date, the old dates will return and the new ones will then disappear. The is empty operator will remove all cells where there is a value, leaving only blanks. See how all the date qualified cells are now all empty or blank. The is not empty operator removes all the cells with no values, the blank values. See how all the date qualified cells are now all not empty or filled in, and how the number of records has been reduced. That brings us to the end of the different field types and their respective operators. Well done. Get yourself a snack and a cup of tea for a brief break. Applying multiple filters. When applying multiple filters, we need to be aware of two concepts. These are sub-operators and condition groups. Sub-operators. When you click Add Condition after having completed one filter condition, you will be given a drop-down box with two options, known as sub-operators. The AND operator ensures that all specified conditions must be true for a record to be included in the filtered results.
The OR operator ensures that at least one of the specified conditions must be true for a record to be included in the filtered results. Let's take, for example, filtering surname by the surname Murphy. This gives us 350 records. If I only want records of Murphys from County Down, then I need to add an additional filter for Modern County for County Down. But what sub-operator should I choose? For making search results more specific, choose AND, as both conditions must be met. This meets my requirements. However, if I want two separate filters with two separate purposes, I must choose OR sub-operator, which will broaden the results, as either condition can be met before a record will appear in the search results. If I group by surname, this helps show this in greater detail. Now it shows Murphys of any county, as well as any surname from County Down in the records. Condition groups for filters. For more advanced record filtering, you'll need to use condition groups. Unlike standard filters, condition groups let you combine multiple conditions using sub-operators such as AND or OR, though you can't mix sub-operators within the same group. To access condition groups, you'll first need to click Add Condition Group, then click the plus icon on the condition group and then Add Condition. Choose your condition, and when looking to add an additional condition/filter within the same group, click the same plus icon as before and click Add Condition. Before implementing the next condition, choose your appropriate sub-operator, AND or OR. AND is best used for record precision, OR is best used for broadening records. Click Add Condition Group and repeat the same steps. Note: there are sub-operators within condition groups and between condition groups, so you will have to choose another one if having more than one condition group.
Let's use an example to explain why using condition groups can be useful and what can happen in their absence. Maybe I'm looking at the Murphy family. I want to know all the Murphys who qualified before the 1st of January 1776. But I also want information on all the Murphys who happen to be farmers, no matter what the date. How can I find the records I want that meet all these expectations? If I don't use condition groups, I might filter by surname and date qualified, getting me all the Murphys before the 1st of January 1776. But when I add occupation as any of farmer, it only shows Murphys who are farmers before that date. But what about the non-farmers, or Murphys who are farmers after that date? Well, they are filtered out. Now let's use condition groups to correct this. To make it easier to follow, I have hidden many additional fields and also group records by date. Now we need to create a condition group where it brings up all of the Murphys who qualified before the 1st of January 1776, irrespective of occupation. Then we create a second condition group for all the Murphys who qualified who are farmers. Now you will notice that there is still a problem. All the records of Murphys who are not farmers have disappeared. Why is this? Well, it comes down to the sub-operator between the condition groups being put down as AND. Currently, only those records that meet all the requirements of all the conditions taken in total, or as a whole, will actually show. But if we change the sub-operator to OR, then all the requirements of each condition group are met instead, allowing for non-farmers to be shown. This is why condition groups can be powerful, as they allow you to mix sub-operators. Before we dive into the next section on calendar changes on the convert rules, this is a good moment to take a short break. Feel free to pause the video here, grab a drink or a snack, get a fresh page and pen ready. The next part is a bit more detailed, so being refreshed will really help. When you're ready, just hit play and we'll continue. Dates in convert rules. Calendar changes. In the mid-18th century, Ireland changed its official calendar. This happened through the Calendar New Style Act of 1750, which was applied in both Great Britain and Ireland at the same time in 1752. This legislation made major reforms. It changed the official start of the year from 25th of March to the 1st of January, and the end of the year from the 24th of March to the 31st of December. Ireland stopped using the Julian calendar and started adopting the modern Gregorian calendar on what would have been the 3rd of September 1752 Old Style. 11 days were skipped, so the 2nd of September was immediately followed by the 14th of September New Style. The calendar before 1752. Before 1752, all civil, legal and administrative records were kept in Ireland using the Julian calendar. Irish states were 11 days behind those used in most of continental Europe. The legal year did not begin on the 1st of January, instead it began on the 25th of March, Lady Day. So in the old Irish system, the 24th of March 1749 was followed by the 25th of March 1750. But 10th of February 1749 under Irish Julian corresponds to the 21st of February 1750 modern Gregorian. Ireland's two unusual short years, 1751. Both 1751 and 1752 were short years due to the calendar change. To align Ireland with the Gregorian system, the year 1751 had to be shortened. Under the old Irish Julian system, the new year would have run from the 25th of March 1751 to the 24th of March 1752. But the reform required the new legal year to begin on the 1st of January. Therefore, in Ireland, 1751 ran only from the 25th of March to the 31st of December, about 282 days. Ireland's two unusual short years, 1752. In September 1752, Ireland carried out the actual calendar correction. Wednesday the 2nd of September 1752 was immediately followed by the Thursday 14th of September 1752. 11 days were removed from the Irish calendar to bring it into alignment with the Gregorian system used across Europe. Therefore, in Ireland, 1752 was running from the 1st of January to the 31st of December and was 354 days long. Here is a calendar for the month of September in 1752 and how it would have looked in both Ireland and England. Here is a chart I developed to explain the changes made to the beginning and end of the calendar year, showing the year before the changes took place in 1750, the two interim years, 1751 and 1752, that brought about the various changes, followed by a regular Gregorian calendar year in 1753. Why is this important when it comes to filtering? Even though the three main date columns, conformity, certification and enrolment/filing, accurately shows the dates as they were originally recorded, this mixture of Julian dates, hybrid dates and early Gregorian dates creates several practical problems. Airtable, the platform on which the information is stored, interprets all dates as Gregorian calendar dates, no matter the original historical record used. This creates several issues when you try to filter or sort mixed Julian-Gregorian data. Number 1. The sequence of dates is off. Before 1752, the legal year in Ireland began on the 25th of March, Lady Day, and not the 1st of January. This means January, February and 24 days of March belong to the end of the previous year. So a date like February 1749 actually occurred after December 1749 in the old system. But Airtable and modern readers naturally treat January, February and March as the start of a year. This makes the raw data or dates fields that are Julian out of sequence. It also means that when filtering for dates for a particular year prior to 1752, that is not accurate, as it can include close to 3 months of dates from a separate year altogether by modern standards. 2. Confusion caused by the two-stage change in 1752. The calendar reform in Ireland didn't happen in just one step. On the 1st of January 1752, people believed they were starting the new year under the old Julian system, albeit with the start of the year changed. On the day after the 2nd of September 1752, the 3rd September Old Style, the new Gregorian calendar was properly instituted and jumped directly to the 14th of September. This reset all dates by 11 days. The 1st of January 1752, originally the new year by Julian standards, now corresponds to the 12th of January 1752 Gregorian standard. The 31st of December 1751, or the end of the 1751, actually now corresponds to the 11th of January 1752. Again, this is problematic for filtering records by date. Those close to the end of the month are now considered a date within the following month, and similarly for year, those near the end of a year are considered within a date in January of the following year. How can I search by date then? To resolve the problems caused by the date change, we've instituted additional columns where all dates are recorded under the Gregorian dating system only. This means that in total each date type, i.e. conformity, certification and enrolment/filing, can be searched for by 3 methods. Method 1. The multiple select field. This is not a true date field, but it does allow for incomplete dates. Also, the dates are displayed how contemporaries would have seen them. However, this causes modern sequencing issues. Method 2. The date field that uses both Julian and Gregorian dates as they were recorded. This is a true date field, but it doesn't allow for incomplete dates. The dates that are displayed is how contemporaries would have seen them, but again, this causes modern sequencing issues. Method 3. The date field using Gregorian only dates. All the Julian dates have been converted into Gregorian dates. Example, the 11th of January 1741 is converted to the 22nd of January 1742. This is a true date field. It doesn't allow for incomplete dates. It's not displayed how contemporaries would have seen dates, those that would have been Julian. But it resolves issues of sequencing, including the year's beginning and endings, the days of the week, and the 11th day difference. Here we can see an example slide of each of the 3 methods for each of the 3 main types of date, for conformity, certification, and enrolment. Advanced grouping. You might notice on both of the advanced database pages, as you scroll down the page, there are additional boxes. If you click on the plus icon on either of these boxes, it will load a copy of either database with some additional fields or columns. You can group all these additional columns, but most importantly, if you click group and then choose linked record ref as the field, this should group all the linked records by persons in the roles. This can provide further insights into the multiple qualifications given by a single person, or the different conversion records or stages taken by a single person who converted to the Church of Ireland. Let's see the procedure of grouping linked record references in action. First, let's click the plus icon in the box at the bottom of the page and let it load this alternative version of the same database. Then click Group and choose to group by linked record ref. As you will see, all the records by the same individual or individuals are now grouped together.